Okay, so I have stitched all of the green to here. Like we said, that the way this lined out with the felt, this foot, there's no room for the felt. So we could do like we did here, where I kind of folded over drastically. But if you look, and this is the reason why it's a good idea to have your cookie cutter, there's plenty of room for that, more of that foot. Just for whatever reason, there's not, it didn't match up with the felt. So you don't, it doesn't have to match up with the felt. You could do what I'm going to do and just kind of shape it around, and then check and make sure you got enough room. Maybe even bring this out a tad bit more. I'm just kind of rolling it back out with my finger and shape it, and kind of, what's the word I want to use? Whip stitch around basically the this folded area also. Thus again, why, if you're the kind of person who is like, I want my stuff to match up perfectly, I don't want to have to work with it to get it to work, this probably isn't the best finishing for you. I might put a disclaimer. What should I call this? Free-form finishing. Yeah. So, but you know, and and I've been doing this for 30 years, and I do this all the time. So to kind of gauge what's reasonable for other people, I might not be the best at that. I might be downright not good at that. So this definitely maybe is more of a what I do for your curiosity, but it's not going to be something you want to do. But, you know, for the few people that might want to do this for their curiosity, I guess that's why I'm doing this. So I'm really just whip stitching around the stitching I've just done, kind of in the air. You know, that's kind of good like that. Okay. Bring this more this way. Okay, I'm not going to talk a lot because this is going to take a little concentration. So I'm going to go forward in my trimming. You can see. I like that. Don't ever do that where you have just felt and then you do, if you have a place that has extra felt, always definitely do the felt at least to the edge, I mean your cross stitch fabric to the edge of the felt. Well, I hate saying don't ever, because then a scenario is going to happen where I'm like, you should do this. Or this time I did this. Okay, I'm not going to talk so I can pay attention. Okay. I think I got it. So you can't quite tell, but like the felt stops there, so there's this bulge of paw that is just folded over itself. But when you put it in here, that works. Right. If we weren't putting a bunch of flowers on here, because this is kind of gappy, I would tack down places, but we're going to put a whole bunch of stitching there here in a second. All right, so now, actually, I would say we can go. So really, now the rest of the way around is kind of, you want to get the notch. You know, if there's a place that goes down. This, you know, the tail part, again, kind of get what's considered the top of the tail first, and then do your sides, you know, to get those edges in, tucked in. And then get this last little bit tucked in. Yeah. And maybe as we go, we'll kind of finesse it. But yeah, so now it's just a matter of doing what you've been doing. Stitching green up to there, white, you know, blue around, a tiny bit of white, and then the rest brown. And then the next thing we're going to do is I will probably tomorrow film the different kinds of flowers I used in my spring stitching and give an example of the different choices you have if you want to add flowers. You don't have to add flowers, you know, you could just have it in like this. If you did that, I would probably tack down lots of places to kind of get the bunny from being kind of wrinkly. But I'm going to stitch the rest around, and unless something happens that I think you need, but we've kind of done all these things already. So I, you know, might not advise you to snip ahead as far as I did. Because, you know, that can have you deal with stuff you don't want to be dealing with. But so yeah, so finish stitching up your bunny, and I will probably see you tomorrow to do the flowers.